everybody to the Personnel Board. Nearly everybody here. The first thing on the agenda is apologies for absence. I think Pauline Julia-Simons she gave her apologies for absence. We don't have any other apologies to do, nothing. So, first item is minutes from the previous meeting. I want to confirm that the minutes of the meeting held both on the 4th of July 2022 and the minutes of the extraordinary meetings held on the 12th and 27th of July 2022. If we go to the 4th of July meeting, first of all, I had a couple of comments. Does anybody else have anything first?
Depends what you're going to say.
Okay, so shall I? I was just looking at where we were discussing the real living wage. So I think we came as councillors to ask for investigation into the real living wage and the implications of adopting this to be reported back to the council. And I think the wording in there didn't capture the request for us to have the investigation for it to be brought back to us. Barbara did send me a response to a question a couple of weeks ago. She indicated that a report was underway, but I think if we could just capture that. So I prepared some suggested wording for an amendment, which is that members requested that the proposed bill that the council adopt the real living wage for its direct employees should be investigated and for the implications of this to be reported back to the council. This should cover possible implications for the pay of school staff, contractors and partner organisations such as Optilis. And I would suggest that last sentence supersedes the one where I think that there was a concern was expressed that it would do. I think we prefer to ask for that to be investigated and for possible implications to come back to us. And I think that covers discussions that we've had with other councils.
I can see Susan looking nervous. It's not a commitment to do it.
Okay, that's what I understand completely the ethos. I understand your absolute ethos, but it's.
I think it's to demonstrate whether it's remotely feasible or not.
Yeah.
And I can confirm work is underway looking at that already in relation to HR and finance and the financial implications, and also looking at other local authorities that have committed to it. So, for example, some local authorities have done it, or actually their commitment is that they won't implement it for 7 years. So it's interesting for us to do that exercise about.
There's quite different
We've actually,
if we were to do it for our own staff and not for contract staff, or so there's all sorts of things. So it's about having all those complexities explained to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can see that Matt has got his hand up as well. Hi, Matt.
Hello. Sorry. Yeah, I know I'm not here for this item, but a rough calculation around this and the fact that the real living wage has just had about a 10% or so increase for adult social care would indicate an additional cost of about 4.5 million to the council to achieve that. And it really sits in our campaign for social care to be properly funded going forward, really, because that's something that we just couldn't afford, and that's just in adult social care.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm so new to this. How much roughly do we pay the bottom end of adult social care, the care work?
I must admit, I'm struggling a little bit to hear how I got as far as how much do we pay
Care workers at the moment.
We have multiple suppliers in the market who pay different rates, and some of those will share their rates with us and some not, but below the real living wage in many areas in social care contractors. In fact, you get more money, much more money, working in supermarkets, and it's one of the fundamental issues for social care that needs to be put right as part of reform.
And I think that's possibly captured by the fact, I think, in this exercise, we're looking really at the impact that the real living wage would have for direct employees of the council. Although, of course, if there are likely to be knock-on effects on, you know, for example, contract organisations and partner organisations such as Optalis, that is something that we should absolutely look at.
Is it possible to turn the thing up?
Agreed, but I suppose from a social care point of view, it is something that we ought to look at. We need to look at paying our frontline workers across social care, not just in Woking but across the country, a real living wage. In fact, I'd go further and say it should be more comparable with the NHS.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the only way forward. Ultimately, I'm sure that's right. But I think for the purposes of this amendment to the minutes, we're just asking for information.
Yes, I think we are at this point, and I think, Matt, if you would like to feed in, maybe by the time your thoughts and your concerns about the fair treatment of our care workers who are so important to us, I think that would be brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. So Prue, I think you said that you had something which might
That was it.
Online. That was it. Okay. Super. Okay. Do we have any other questions, comments around the table? I just had one issue that I wanted to raise, which is I think I was the main person asking quite a few questions on the 4th of July. And do we have some time scale around when we might get answers to those?
Yeah, I think so. The action list, so you'll have clear dates for those.
Super. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so are we then happy to confirm minutes of the previous meeting? Do I need to propose in a second? Yeah. Seconded. Proposed by Bruce, seconded by Stuart, and all in favour. Okay, thank you very much. Declarations of interest. Do we have any declarations of interest?
You've got to take the other two meetings separately.
I'm sorry, you're absolutely right, I do that. Do we have any comments about meetings held on 12th and 27th of July? Okay. Can we take those two together?
I can only vote on the 12th of July.
Likewise.
Present on.
Yes, there's quite a few substitutions.
Likewise.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, can we have a proposal and a seconder for the minutes of the extraordinary meeting held on the 12th of July 2022? Pauline and Stuart, thank you very much. And those of us who were there, are we? Yeah, super. And the 27th of July 2022, can we have a proposer? Thank you.
Just for the sake of variety.
Oh, I think seconded, and I think we're both
There we go.
go through. Yes, okay. Super. So declarations of interest. Do you have any declarations of interest? No. Okay. So item 28, public question time. Have we had any questions from the public? No. And 29, member question time. Have we had any questions from members? Okay. In that case, I'll move to item 30, exclusion of the public. That's under section 100A, brackets 4 of the Local Government Act 1972. The public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business on the grounds that they involve likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraphs 1, 2 and 3 of part 1 of the Schedule 12A of the Act as amended as appropriate. So,
Can I have a comment on item 31?
yeah,
No, you're okay now.
okay. You get all
Yeah, sorry,
good?
I was just checking out the scene.
No, it was a comment on the